Welcome, everybody, to another exciting episode of Now Hear This. My guest this evening is Len-Dor. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
I appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me.
No doubt, for those who may not know, we're going to get to go back in time and get some of your history and then work our way up to 2025 to see what new projects you have available. But for those who may not know, where were you born and raised?
I was born in Trinidad and Tobago, born and raised in Trinidad and Tobago. That's in the Caribbean.
Okay. Take us back to teenage years growing up there.
Oh man, musically or just as an average kid growing up?
Just an average kid, hobbies, interests.
For me, growing up, I was basically an athlete all my life. I played pro sports for played in the CFL here, had a brief little stint with some NFL camps and stuff in the US. But growing up, I've been an athlete all my life, played every sport under the sun. Um, started off as a dancehall artist first. I was in the dancehall at first, and then after the influence of one of my neighbors, who kind of he used to travel back and forth to the U.S. whatever, and he was the one start. He introduced to me to hip hop. That was Jay-Z's, I think, Life and Time of Sean Carter. Oh, no, Reasonable Doubt, I think it was, yeah. And ever since then, I just made a whole nosedive into this genre. And the rest is history, man.
What eventually happened to the football career?
Oh, so I retired in 2016. I got signed when I was 29. So I got signed in 2012. So I spent like 4 years back and forth living on the plane between Canada and the US. Just playing for different teams, trying out for different teams. That's what my life was about for those 4 years.
Okay. So you said you took a nosedive into hip hop. What was your early creative process? And did you have mentors helping you out? Who was around at this time helping you formulate your skills?
Honestly, though, some of the artists I listened to, KRS-One, Rakim, or you name it, the Bush Babies, Daz Effects, they kind of like really had a serious impact on me. Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul, like these were the dudes who really helped fashion what I do today, and it just made me. I had a friend of mine's. I started off with a small group when I was about 16, 17, and we started kicking rhymes. They were kind of like in it, but they weren't as polished as how I thought they were. And then I branched off to another group, and that group, they were a little more polished. And then I went on my own eventually, and I kind of hooked up with two producers back in my country, Rook Beats and Silence, and we just formed a team, and we just started dropping jewels, and the rest is history to this point.
What was that music scene like back home while you were diving in? What were you seeing around musically?
Well, in Trinidad, it's carnival, right? It's soca and all that stuff. But we do have a serious hip hop movement. So for us, we were tapped in just like y'all. But whatever y'all dropped, we knew about it. So it still is a bit of a movement, and we just bit into it. We had hip hop shows like everyone. We had performances. We performed. We dropped music. It's just that there was no market to sell music in Trinidad because the general consensus of hip hop was seen as a bit of a bastard child in the Caribbean. They knew about it. We messed with it, but the radio stations didn't want to really, take the time to delve into local acts that were doing hip hop. So
Right.
it was a bit of a struggle.
Those earlier two groups that you were part of, did anything finalize, as far as material, or is it just,
We
early getting your skills up?
Yeah, you could say that was like early getting your skills together because those two groups, we didn't really I didn't really have studio experience until I started hanging with a guy called Ezekiel Keller, and my boys wrote Beats in Silence because he did it professionally. He had a professional studio, but the guys before, we were just dudes that were just freestyling on the corner, man. We just spin rhymes, we trying to do what y'all do, and we found ways to try to cultivate our skills. And the fun fact about it is that a lot of those dudes now, they're done. Like, I'm the only one from that collective that's still doing this right now.
Right. Wow. So your first global debut was on the single "I Do."
Yeah, that was during COVID. I wrote a sort of like a conscious gospel song. You know, I did that. It was a lo-fi. That was produced by Rook Beats. I released that on an EP called Rebirth. That was kind of like produced by Rook Beats and Silence at the same time. And then I was in the process of moving back to Canada because I got married, my wife here and everything. And when I came back here, I hit everything full throttle. So I just started writing, started producing, filming, and all that stuff. Filming is a passion of mine, so I was able to integrate those two together. I do all my music videos myself and everything.
Mm.
So I was able to integrate and made some good allies and friends here who showed me the ropes of how the hip hop scene works in Canada. I've been here before years ago, but in the hip hop scene, I was new to it. So as soon as I came back here and I tapped in, I just hit the floor running, man. Just started dropping heat.
Oh. You mentioned 2020. How did you maneuver during that time, the pandemic? Where were you at, and how did music reel you in at that point?
Well, fun fact though, so when before the year the pandemic really hit, 2019, I was here. And when my wife and I we got engaged, and I had to come here to do the whole engagement party and everything. And the messed up part, literally the week after I moved back home, that's when everything went straight into lockdown. So me and my wife, we were apart for like 2 years. And then at home, I was a personal trainer by profession, train athletes and stuff. So that in itself changed as well. So it gave me, and I was finishing my degree then in school. So it gave me an opportunity to delve back into writing. Because before that, all I did was just football. I played, trained, played, and that's it. But the moment I got during COVID, it just came right back. And I
Mhm.
started recording again. My boys, we clicked back up again. They started sending me a ton of beats. And it's crazy though how things work though. And that just spurred back up the whole gene to write again. And that was it, bro.
Right. You mentioned earlier were into producing. How did you get into producing initially?
Well, producing is actually a byproduct of actually watching my friends, my homeboys do it, because, and then what I started realizing too, that I started realizing that I wanted a certain type of style of beats production. So I started involving myself in that and started learning to sit down and make my actual own beats. So a couple of projects that I have out right now, I've produced some of those beats as well.
Dope. You work with a host of artists and producers. Can you mention some of those artists and producers and some of those
I work,
projects?
sure. Prologic, Rook Beats, Silence, Bofat. I've worked with oh man, I worked with a lot of different Rennie Double, Fresh Kills, well, man, I've worked with a slew of them, bro. Artist wise, my boys S, Donnie Quest. I worked with Raw King, DJ Quan, Travesty, Notes 82, Shaw Elemental. I've worked with a lot of dope MCs, yo. A lot of dope MCs.
Right. Now, was your first official EP the Vocal Codex?
The Vocal Codex was like a test thing, right? It was like a mixtape we dropped. And that was just like to test the market. So it was just a pile of songs we put together and we dropped it there. So it was kind of nice to see what the market was. And the funny thing, that's when I started my whole filming process because I filmed all the music videos myself with that whole project.
Okay. What was the feedback like with that project?
It was actually pretty good though. It was way better than I expected though, because a lot of that project is much more God related. So a lot of the music on that was pretty much about, spirituality and a lot of my experiences and stuff like that. So it was a lot of experimental type of concepts in that whole EP.
Now, which dropped after that? Was that the Truth They Deny?
So the Truth to Denied, that's with Bofat. So Bofat and I, we met on Facebook, and I've been a fan of his for a bit with his production, and we decided to do an album together. And the crazy thing that I actually did it pretty well. Like, that was kind of like a biography of my life, literally. So that did pretty well for sure.
What was that creative process like? Meeting somebody on Facebook and exchanging, files. What was that whole recording process like?
Well, truth is, bro, if you think about it, bro, that's when the world really started becoming to the new world order of things, right? So remember,
Right.
it made the world a lot more smaller, right? So people that you probably would have to meet by chance, you're now meeting with just a click. So it was awesome though. And being able to work with a guy like Bofat, who have worked with a lot of different top artists like Smith and Weston and those guys, for him choosing me to produce for him to produce an album for me was kind of awesome though. And I just dove into it, man. It did pretty dope.
Dope. Next, a few pages from the Dark Ages.
All right. So that's actually produced in Trinidad and Tobago by Rook Beats, the producer who I started off with, my homeboy. And that album now, basically, I try to focus on a lot of my inner observations politically and also spiritually as well, right? So with that album, that was really the cusp of where I was able to reach a lot more other artists. I worked with guys like Soul Rack, um, E. Smitty. He just did a record with what's this guy name again, boy? E. Smitty, Master Ace. They worked together closely, and E. Smitty was able to feature on that project for me or with me. Featured a lot of dope artists on that, though. So that's when it really started really opening up for me.
Dope. How'd you get down with DJ Kwan?
Man, so DJ Kwan he did what you're doing with me right now. Interview, met on an interview. He had his own podcast, the Mixtape Show, and one day he I didn't know he produced beats, and one day he placed a beat up on his Facebook, and I heard it, and it sounded like one of those real old school '90s type of bops, right? So I told him, I said, "Bro, what you doing with that?" And he's like, he asked me if I wanted it. I said, "Yeah, hell yeah, I want it." And I took it and I did a track called Hip Hop Madness, and featured Rob G. Salute to Rob G, another MC from Phoenix. He's a dope artist too. And from there, we did that one single, and we saw how it was for his. He was doing a beat project, and we realized we wanted to work together. And I turned that one single into the Beacon of the Dark. We did a whole EP, and that EP sold out. Like a couple of my projects, especially that one sold out within what, a week, and people were really messing with it. So Quan and I, we've been homies and friends ever since that. We have never really met in person, and we're doing that next year. But ever since then, we're kicking in and meeting each other, working with each other. That's how we've been going. Even up to this day, we were speaking today. That's how real it is.
Dope. So, what was that creative process like? He send you a bunch of beats, or does he tailor make the track around you?
Funny you say that though. He does a bit of both. Him and Prologic have the same concept. It's like you will get something that right off the bat you're gonna murder, and then he'll cultivate something for me right on the spot. So because I would like to believe my style of hip hop is very diverse. I do a lot of different things, but my bread and butter basically is abstract. So abstract. So so those two producers know me pretty well. So it was really easy for them to work with me. They'll send me something. If I like it, I'll keep it. If not, they'll actually build something that feels as if like it's something I will work with.
Right. Now, you guys worked on the project with Rock King, is that correct?
Yeah, the Requiem. So another DJ Quan. We did that last year. Again, it started off in a similar way, just like the Beacon in the Dark. We started with one song, and then we realized there's chemistry there, and we decided, okay, let's do a whole project for it. And it's my first time working with Rock King, and it flew quickly. I did all the music videos and stuff for those projects as well. I did all the trailers for it and everything. And yeah, that one sold out too, and it did pretty good.
What was the feedback like?
Oh, it's immense. People loved it. I think for me, it really showed me that the art of telling a story and the art of creating an album with a theme is still needed. People still want to do things like that. I come from that background where I'm an 80s baby. So I grew up on hearing albums that came with a lesson or a theme or a concept. There's a period between 2018 and 2022 we weren't hearing that. And in some cases, you still don't hear that. You're hearing, I'm a big fan of drumless beats, but you started hearing more coke rap than actually hearing morality in music.
Okay.
And that's what the Requiem gave us the opportunity to do.
Right. What kind of discussions did you and Rock King have? We understand your process with Kwan. What was it like working with another MC? Kind of,
Well,
through virtually somewhat.
well, to be quite honest with you, homeboy, it's not really that difficult. Though. It's easy because I mean now the way how the internet has become after COVID, now it's like the go-to for everything. So he sent me his leads. I work around those leads. He sent me the mix bag. He sent me what he did. We sat down. We discussed it over WhatsApp or Messenger, and we come up with a concept. So we do video calls, and the rest is history.
Right. Very dope. You have a newer project, I Need My Flowers.
Yeah, so that was that was my recent two. In fact, I Need My Flowers and abstractions. I Need My Flowers was produced by Pro Logic. That's my homeboy. That album is. I always tell people that album is my version of the Minstrel Show from the Little Brothers, from Little Brother.
Mm, mm,
And again, Pro lives here. We met quite a few times, and we met through a mutual friend of mine 3 years ago, and we clicked, and we became homeboys, and we always keep in touch. And Pro is a legend up here because he's been doing hip hop since 1997, and he has a plethora of artists he has worked with. And we decided we're gonna do the album. The album was done within a month because I have my whole setup, everything home here. So it was put together, and it's crazy how that album has really impacted a lot of people, though. I'm really, really proud of that project. Very
right.
much.
And the Abstractions is an EP, right?
Yeah, so the abstraction was like, it was like my thank you for purchasing the I Need My Flowers, because when I dropped that album, there was such an overwhelming response with that album. And I don't know if probably you know, but I mean, for us underground dudes, when you put merch out there that you allocated us to number 4 and see all that go off the shelf in a matter of 2 weeks is amazing. And I've had to experience that 3 times in my career with all my projects. So I decided, you know what? Let me give people a free EP, a thank you. It was basically abstractions, basically like my homeboy Silence. He's a producer that deals with a lot of drumless beats, a lot of unique abstract sounding shit. So we put the EP together and we threw it out there, and it's crazy, but people loved it. So I'm happy, man. I am excited. I'm not even complaining, bro. I see people complain. A lot of artists trying to complain. I'm like, bro, just for people to look at your shit and comment is a big deal for me. And furthermore, for them to purchase it, even better.
Right. Any plans to tour?
That's a good question, bro. So I've been invited to perform in different parts of the U.S., in New York, in Dallas, with my boy Quan and stuff like that. So I'm hoping it works out. And right now, Trump is kind of squeezing Canadians nuts right now to go over the border. So, but I'm hoping, as I said, next year, I'm trying to see if I could close the gap with that and really come across there and see if I could kick some small venues' asses with performances and stuff. I just did I did a performance for, I don't know if you know about the Heritage Hip Hop with Kakura, right? So he just had his award show. I did a performance for him as well too. So, it really showed me that there are people who are really fucking with me on a heavy level there. So I'm hoping I could actually go in person and really do kill it.
Very dope. Anything outside of music that you're looking to explore? Any other avenues?
Oh, bro, I'm the average cat, man. I'm in school right now studying. Basically, I'm trying to get better at my filming, if that makes any sense. I've through this whole process, I've realized I have a serious passion for filming.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like really, I think filming brings a lot of things to life that we take for granted. And recently I saw where some dudes was trying to have this movement where they're trying to say, rappers are trying to say it's a waste of time to do visuals. I beg to differ. You know what I mean? I think visuals are needed when it comes to a song, especially
Right.
if you want people to grasp your concept of your music. So filming is a big thing for me, bro. All my music videos, you go on my YouTube page, I've done everything. I've filmed myself. I've also done work with other artists too, visually as well. Filmed other artists, do music videos for them and all that stuff. So yeah, filming will be my thing.
Very dope. Any artists you got coming up that you're producing for?
Right now, I have done beats for Donny Quest, SMA Lango. I have done for there's a I forgot his cat name. This Muslim cat. I can't remember his name though. I've done quite a few small Mars One. I've done a lot of small productions for artists here on Facebook. Like so, when I started doing beat production, I would give away the beats that I create. I would give them away because you know I just want to see if they'll take it. And I'm seeing now where a lot of artists they snatch it up and they like what I do. So, but right now I'm still kind of like perfecting my production on that end because of I want to be able to produce a whole entire project from start to finish. Like I want to be do the beats, the mixing and mastering, everything. I want to know that experience because it gives you a better understanding of what producers go through, and at the same time it helps you better as an artist to understand what you hear versus what you put out, you know? So that's my thing though.
Right. Once your two latest projects do their thing, what's next for Len-Dor?
Right now I'm finishing. So I have a lot of work coming up. Quan and I and Travesty, we just completed an album produced by a Grammy Award winning engineer. That'll be dropping real soon. It's called Chain Reaction. Then I also completed an EP with another dope producer called Kondu. He's kind of like a Jay Dilla type, pretty dope dude. That'll be dropping soon. And now I'm in the middle, well, just over the middle of finishing the second album with Prologic. That album will be dropping hopefully when everything comes together. So I'm just and plus knocking out features here, there, and everywhere, and people send me stuff and everything. So that's my life right now.
Is there any artists or producers that you look to work with in the future?
Hell yeah, shit. Ninth Wonder, Ninth Wonder, Madlib, Alchemist, Evidence. Who else? Q-Tip. Just recently, I didn't even know this, but De La Soul's brother, Poss, his brother's name is Luck. Luck and I recently connected, and Luck was really interested in working with me. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, bro, hell yeah. Yeah, like, there's so many different producers. Large Professor, um, Dillinger. Shit. Even if Mahami wants to produce something for me, I'll take it. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
anyone who really who I really mess with, music, Aldovino, like anyone I really mess with musically, hell yeah.
Dope. As far as listeners who want to reach out for production, where can they find you at?
Oh, they can find me anywhere. You can find me on my Instagram. On my Instagram, you can tap it in. Len-Dor, Len-Dor 13. You can find me on Facebook as well, Akil Len-Dor. That's my government on Len-Dor. You get me on Twitter. You can email me. Everything is there. You can find me. Bandcamp.
With so much going on in the world, so many artists dropping, what's keeping you inspired to create good music?
Honestly, bro, I love the process, man. Like, I love the process of creating, man. Like, just knowing that you have full control over something. And for me, the reason why I do what I do is because there was a point in time I wasn't hearing music that I want to hear. So for me, I wanted to create music that I want to hear. When I go lift, work out, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes, I think at some point when you start hearing things that really don't align with what you stand for, it really messes with your frequency a type of bit. So for me, that's why I started creating music. I created music that I wanted to hear. And the funny thing is, I never thought it actually would be true, but someone really told me in the past that once you creating music that you want to hear, you'll soon find your tribe. And that's true. Like there are a lot of people I never knew were into some of the stuff that I was into. Even my fan base that I have now that's still growing, I couldn't believe some of the people were reaching out to me and telling me, yo, this shit is fire. So That's the reason why I love creating, right? The money will come after. I think a lot of people get a little bit hung up too much on the money, though. Just keep creating, keep putting out, keep getting better, and everything else will fall into place.
Very dope. Outside of streaming, do you have physical copies available?
Absolutely, brother. I have CDs. I have CDs. In my next couple projects, I will be um trying the vinyl route. I've never tried the vinyl route before. I have friends of my other artists who I work with, they do the vinyl thing. And I think the reason why I never did the vinyl thing though, because I've realized in the process of what we do in the underground, you have to be really sure of your fan base. You have to be
Mhm.
really sure what you're selling. And I've seen a lot of artists, I've been to a lot of other artists' home who have basements stacked with merch that never got sold. So I don't want to be that type of artist where I want to shoot my shot and I'm shooting over the moon and I just have a box of shit down here that's not doing anything. So the next ones I'm hoping to do some vinyl
Right. Very dope. And those CDs gonna be available where?
on Bandcamp. You get everything on Bandcamp. What is sold out though? I'm thinking of replenishing. Like I need my flowers are sold out. I'm thinking of actually replenishing that and see what the market. It all comes down to when people reach out if they want it or not.
Very
So
dope.
yeah.
Any last words for your supporters, those old and new that been following you?
First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for supporting me, all who purchased the albums, who purchased the merchandise. I really appreciate it. All the kind words, the comments, the feedbacks, no matter what, I really am happy. People could get me. I would like people to hit me up more on my YouTube as well. If they go on my YouTube, see all my visuals, my videos, and everything. And yeah, bro, I really appreciate being on your show too. It was dope.
Very well. I appreciate the opportunity. Shout out to Kawan for connecting us.
Mhm.
That is the one and only Len-Dor. I am the journalist Sin-seer. This has been another great episode of Now Hear This. Thank you so much, Len-Dor.
Take it easy, bro. Thank you, bro. Take it easy, brother.
No doubt. Appreciate you.
You too, brother.
All
Peace.
right. Peace.